ready, or do you need to go to the bathroom or something, or some water? Okay. Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, you can just go ahead and sit down right there, yeah. So, do you have kind of any idea of what you were looking for today? I know there's an option to leave, kind of, when you schedule the appointment, to kind of leave some notes for what you wanted, but yeah, you didn't really leave that much, so. Okay. Okay, yeah. Ready to retire the mullet. I get it. I'm about ready to go back to it myself. Okay, so you just kind of want to take mostly stuff off the sides and the back. Still shorter overall on top, though. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to take a good amount off the back. Let's see what you're kind of working with here. Yeah, you do have obviously a lot more going on in the back, but the sides are getting kind of long as well. Yeah. Right, summertime, and it is. Yeah, it gets hot. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm ready for a haircut myself soon here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you have bad skin, your scalp can get pretty irritated quickly, in the summer when you have a lot of hair to deal with, so I get it. So you want to go pretty short on the sides then. So yeah, what I'll probably do is use my scissors, to take off the most of it, and then at the end, if you want, I can use the clippers, but I think it should be fine with scissors. I think I can get it short enough. Yeah, I don't like to have to use them if I don't have to. I mean, we have a good pair, but unless they're like super sharp, exactly. It ends up kind of more like ripping or tearing the hair rather than giving it a good cut. And so then that's when you usually end up with like kind of frayed ends, especially if you have like thinner hair to begin with. And then if you have like thicker hair, sometimes it's just not great for it because it's just harder on the clippers. So yeah, right. Okay. So I'm gonna, yeah. So first I'm going to just put this around you here. Yeah, I'll put it around your kind of shoulders here just because. Let me grab my scissors and comb. Yeah, I don't want the rest of your body to get wet and everything, or hair all over it or whatever. Yeah, you have to, summer's been good. Yeah. Couple of vacations already, wow, that's nice. Yeah, well, I've just been, working here, but, yeah, it's nice. I get to talk to some people, and it's like, you almost get to, live through some of their little vacations and stuff with them. I like hearing about them, yeah. Okay, let me just get a feel kind of again for what we have going on here, and then, I'll start spraying you down, and then, we can start taking some hair off. I'll probably try and kind of separate it into some sections first. Yeah, it's pretty long. Yeah. Yeah, it's really thick in here. It looks like, do you normally? Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, your hair doesn't grow completely evenly, so I know, and it looks like for you, it does kind of grow more heavily in the back, which I don't think is uncommon, especially, as you start to get older, even if it's not, even if it's not that your hair on the backside is growing faster, it's that you might start to lose a little bit more hair or thin out in the front. Exactly, yeah. Okay. Alright. I think I have a good idea of kind of how I want to go at this. Get this spray here. Okay, you can close your eyes for this if you want. Just coming through with the... Yeah. Yeah, this is not the normal sprayer I use. I think the last time you were here, I had a different one, but this is kind of what we're left with for now. Okay. Just gonna make sure that water kind of got everywhere in your hair. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna start to separate it here. Just gonna try and mostly get it, yeah. Yeah, into the sides and the back, because I think right. Yeah, I'll probably get the sides first, but running into some knots here, but nothing too bad. How often are you brushing your hair? Okay. Yeah, no, that's a decent amount. I would say with your hair too. How often are you shampooing and stuff? Okay. Yeah, I don't think you need to be shampooing every day. That's definitely gonna dry out your hair, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, no, you know what, I get it. If you're working out every day and your hair does kind of feel gross, I get it. But yeah, it's actually gonna end up putting your hair in worse health if you're shampooing, and you kind of you have thicker hair, so I can understand how it feels like it just kind of gets real dirty. Right. somebody else for some reason is feeling the temperature of your shower. Okay. Yeah, so I got the sides and kind of the back separated out here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to give it one more spray. You can close your eyes here. Okay. Just kind of get that through it all again a little bit. Make sure it's even. Does it get annoying kind of being storefront? Yeah, it's not. We're not on too busy of a street. I mean, you can hear some kind of cars going by, but this is a good spot to be because, people see us, when they drive by and stuff, and so it would be nice to have kind of a quieter place, yeah, but it's kind of better to have this spot, especially because we're closer to a lot of the larger residencies and stuff in the area, so yeah. And yeah, I mean, business is going pretty good. And yeah, you would hope that, barbershops are kind of a weird thing, or barbers in general, if you go to one and they do a good job, you can kind of hope that they'll come back. Right. Oh, sorry. So before I start actually cutting, do you have like a reference image that you want me to kind of look at, or? Okay. Alright, you trust me, that's fine. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna start in the back here. And I'm gonna need to get a little closer. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna run my kind of fingers through it, and I'm just gonna take off. Yeah, a little, I'm gonna take off a little bit more on the first pass through. And then as we go, we can kind of start to take off smaller amounts and see if it's kind of closer to what you want. Right. Yeah, because I don't wanna overdo it, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping to go on vacation in a couple weeks. I think I'm going to see some family. Well, yeah, so I mean this is the thing, it's like, I'm just gonna choose not to be, open probably for a couple days before the 4th and then a couple days after. Because I want some time off. And I think I'm probably just gonna hang out with friends, maybe go to the beach or something on the 4th. But I don't think, yeah, right. I'm not actually gonna, whatever, I'm not going out of town for that, probably, yeah, maybe I'll go into the city. is it on a Thursday, or the 3rd is a Thursday, and then the 4th is Friday? Okay. Okay. So we've taken a good amount off the back now. I'm gonna get the front, and then I'll let you take a look at it and see what you think. You know, actually, you can. I'll just stop right now with how the back is and take a look at it and let me know what you think. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. You can just. The bathroom's right down the hall. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You think the length is fine how it is now? Okay. Yeah, I'll just do just a little bit more, kind of trimming up, making sure it's all even back there. And then I'll do the sides quickly. And I'll take a little bit off the top, but I feel like it's the length of the top. That's how you want it now. Okay. Alright, yeah. So I'm just gonna. I might actually re-spray here, sorry. It's getting a little dry. And then we'll. Yeah. Yeah, no, so what I was saying was, I think a couple weeks from now, like, yeah, I'll be visiting with some family, down at my grandparents' house for a couple days. They have some, property, and we just kind of hang out for a couple of days, so that should be fun. Yeah. Yeah, and I have a pretty big family on my dad's side, so it's always fun when we get together. And you know, now that some of us are getting a little bit older, it's nice. I can, whenever I get to see him, because it feels like it's probably happening less often. Okay, I think that back is at a good spot now. I'm gonna start kind of taking some off the sides here. And yeah, the side should be pretty straightforward because you want it about the same length as the back. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I'll just start, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? That's just how it goes, you know? I mean, there's no way of knowing, you know, if your whole family will kind of end up in the same spot, you know, everyone's gonna get jobs and kind of moved or whatever. So, I mean, that's important, I think, too. Try and stay in touch, you know, and see each other as often as you can, you know, at least for the holidays, you would hope. But, you know, so yeah, I mean, that's why I'm just kind of, you know, you gotta cherish all the moments you can get with, especially with extended family, you know. I mean, you would hope that with first, just because it's a difference, right? And hopefully I don't give people this feeling, but if you're ever a little rattled about the way it looks, just give it a couple days, and it usually ends up looking a lot better. Just kind of takes some adjusting. Right. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, gosh, I'm banging you around everywhere. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I think that is a good length, and I'm just gonna do a little bit on the top here, and then I think you'll be all good. Careful, these ones, the first couple cuts on the top are kind of the most important, especially the kind of up near the in front of your face here, and kind of how this front part of your hair lays. We want to get that right for sure. Sorry, I'm getting right up in your face. A couple more on the front side here, and then I'll be kind of reaching a little bit towards the back of your head, but okay. Okay. I feel like that's sitting pretty well. Yeah, let me get some more. I'll start getting some of this stuff kind of on the further. Yeah. So are you gonna be part of the wedding party then? Oh, best man. That's awesome. Does he have any brothers or anything? Not that I'm saying that his brother would be more qualified to be a best man than you, but I know a lot of people that have brothers kind of end up going with their brother for their best man. But what do I know? I'm not married yet, and none of my brothers are, so. But I feel like that's pretty standard from some of the weddings I've been to. Yeah. Okay, so he's got just two sisters. Well then, that makes sense. Yeah, it is pretty crazy to see when have known him since high school. Finally kind of finding somebody and settling down. Yeah, especially after you remember what he was like in high school, right? Okay. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. But yeah, we'll stop here and then, go to the bathroom again and let me know what you think. Okay. You think it's good? Okay. Yeah, I would go a little bit shorter, but I think, how about this? If I'm gonna leave it for now. And if after you shower and everything, it kind of sits a little differently, because sometimes that's just how it happens. Or maybe you figure out you want to kind of style it a different way. You can just come in. Yeah. Yeah, you can come in and I won't charge you anything extra, just what I'm charging you for this haircut here, so. Yeah, no problem, man. Okay. moisture out of your hair when you do that. And then it's just harder to style sometimes as well. So yeah. Okay, so what I've done here is gotten your hair just damp, and that's when you can put this kind of product in, right? And this is kind of like it's like a gel. What I like about it is, it's gel can be bad for your hair, right? Like certain hair products can be bad. I usually try and lean against doing it if I can. But I think with your hair texture specifically, it should be fine, and I think you'll like how it'll look with a little bit of product in it. So. Okay. So I'm just gonna take a little in my fingers here and kind of. Yeah. And so yeah, if you're only, I would say, if you can, I'm gonna get a little more here. After you use product, I would say that will be a good time to shampoo kind of later in that day, just so that you know the product isn't sitting in your hair for too long, right? Yeah. Okay. A little bit more here, and I'm just gonna start running it through. Oh, sorry. Yeah. This stuff, I would say, actually, better to try and not get it kind of into your roots. Just kind of keep it away from your scalp if you can, especially if you're saying that you don't have great skin. I know sometimes some products can just be more irritating. Yeah. So yeah, just put this stuff in when your hair is like, right when you get out of the shower. When it's not fully dry, maybe give it a little, half dry with a nicer cloth, like I was saying, and then you can throw this stuff in and kind of shape it how you want. Oh geez, it's starting to rain out there. Hopefully, it's not too bad. You don't want it to mess up your freshly done hair. Yeah, next time. So where did you? Yeah, so next time you can park on the back side. Yeah, you don't have to park on the street, and then then you probably have to pay for parking and stuff. Next time, if you have an appointment here, you can park in our back lot. Yeah. Okay, I think. Oh, sorry. I think this looks pretty good. And yeah, you know what? If you don't like how the product is or how it feels kind of in your hair, don't bother with it. If you can go without product, I would. That's what I'll always preach. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you can just go to the counter back there and, yeah, because it's already kind of hooked up with the appointment. At some point, there'll probably be an option to kind of pay ahead of time, like when you make the appointment, but usually, I want to make sure that you guys are, you get a good service